Good evening, everyone. My name is Rishiraj Das. I am part of Group 7, along with three other members. They are Jehun, Fatima, and Alexi. So, for our case study, we had to work on option 2, which was about beverage consumption trends based on data from Canadian Community Health Survey, comparing beverage consumption patterns between 2004 and 2015. The goal of this project was not just to calculate numbers, but to use business intelligence techniques to understand how consumer behavior is changing over time, and more importantly, what those changes mean in real world business context. Across this case study, we answered 5 questions that move from basic trend analysis into forecasting, health impact, and strategic decision making. I'll now hand it over to Chehun, who will walk us through the dataset overview and the first part of the analysis.
All right, thank you. So in this slide, I'm talking about the dataset overview, and the source that we used was the table 2 from Statistic Canada about Canadians' community health survey, nutrition. And the year that we covered was 2004 and 2015 with the comparative and time-based analysis. And the segments that we used for the dataset was both sexes with 1 to 8 and 9 to 13 years old, and the male with the 14 to 18 and female 14 to 18. All right, so the beverage categories that we used for this data set was a total beverage, milk with the low fat and whole flavor, and the fruit juice, soft drinks, and the fruit drinks. And the key matrix of this one is quantity consumed as a grams and proportion of energy as a percentage and the sugar as percentage as well. And we're gonna look about the enable trends analysis with the health impact assessment and demographic comparison to support data-driven business and policy decisions. And here's the question number one about beverage categories and age of groups. And here I calculate the consumption rates of for 5 drinks categories for 2004 and 2015 as total. And I did both sexes for 1 to 8 and 9 to 13 years. So this is the chart that I made it for consumption comparison. As you can see, there's a slight difference between 2 years with the 2004 and 2015. Next. And this is what I found during look at the data set. And as an interpretation, I found that the drink trends between 2004 and 2015 shows the beverage consumption was higher in 2004 than 2015. And the soft drink has the lowest beverage consumption in 2015, as I found. And it shows the 1% or 2% milk has the highest consumption through all other beverage with 2004 and 2015. I think it's because it's an important time to get child to get more health and growth. And it shows the fruit drinks had largest gap between 2004 and 2015 for ages of 9 to 13 years old. And lastly, the age 1 to 8 and 9 to 13 drinks slightly less in 2015. Now I'll pass it to Fatima for question number 2.
Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about the question 2. It's the focus on total beverage consumption for teenagers 14 to 18 and comparing data from 2004 to 2015. We have here a table that it shows the data and the data is for 5 categories that Chehun mentioned that. It's skim 1% or 2% milk, whole and flavored milk, fruit juice, soft drink, and fruit drinks. And for our analysis, we follow 2 main steps. The first one is collected the raw data from the table that we had, and second, we calculate the total consumption by adding male and female values together. This table and this chart shows the total beverage consumption. For these 2 charts, as we saw, we have 2 categories. We have 5 categories and 2 years. It's 2004 and 2015, and it shows that the most significant decrease occur in soft drink and also in fruit drinks. That shows the it shows the teenager choose the healthier dietary for their life. And in a line chart, we will see the data that it shows better than the bar chart. In conclusion, next, yes. From 2004 to 2015, the number of soft drinks sold dropped the most, and there was also a big drop in fruit drinks. People drank less milk in both the low-fat and whole flavor categories. In overall, teenagers drank less of all kind of drinks. Thank you. I'll pass it to Alexi.
Thanks, Fatima. For question 3, I analyzed the 14 years old to 18 years old group. I combined the data for both males and females to get a full picture of the market trends. Then using Excel, I didn't just look at historical numbers. I calculated growth rates and created forecast for 2026. This allowed me to move from descriptive data to predictive analysis. Now let's move to the visualization. On my charts, we can clearly see the gap between historical data and my future projections. On the bar chart, I compared 2004 and 2026 forecast, showing a decline across every category. I also created a line chart to illustrate the trajectory. You can see how the lines are diving down, especially for sugary drink. Let's move to the next slide. The main takeaway is from my analysis that every single category is shrinking. I found that soft drinks and fruit drinks are hit the hardest, dropping by over 50%. My forecast predicts that this drink might even disappear from the market. Even milk, the most popular drink, is expected to lose nearly half of the volume in 2026 compared to 2004. Thanks. Now we should continue.
Thanks. I'll take it from here. So for question 4, looks at the impact of declining beverages on sugar and calorie exposure, specifically for children aged 1 to 13. Up to this point, we had shown the beverages like soft drinks and fruit drinks were declining in quantity, but question 4 goes one step further and asks, do these declines actually translate into meaningful health outcomes? To answer this, I focused on two main things: quantity consumed and proportion of sugar. In the last slide, using pivot tables in Excel, we compared 2004 and 2015 consumption for soft drinks and fruit drinks. Then we took the values and calculated the absolute change, which helped us visualize what the percentage of decline was. And what we see from the chart is that these two categories experience the largest declines in quantity, especially for children aged 1 to 8. More importantly, when we look at the sugar contribution chart, those declines in consumption directly line up with the lower sugar and calorie exposure. So this is no longer just a behavioral trend, it's a measurable outcome. From a business perspective, this supports reformulation strategies and health-aligned product portfolios. In summary, the decline in soft drinks and fruit drinks among children directly translates into lower sugar and calorie exposure. This confirms that consumption trends are not just changing preferences, but producing meaningful health impacts. Moving on to question 5, we look at gender differences in beverage consumption among teenagers aged 14 to 18. Here, the business question is very practical. Are teen males and females behaving the same way or differently? And does that matter? Using total beverage quantity data from male and female teens, we found two key insights. First, male teenagers consistently consumed more total beverages than female teenagers in both 2004 and 2015. Second, while consumption declined for both genders, the rate and magnitude of decline differ, which means the gap between them changed over time. This tells us something important from a business and marketing standpoint. First, one size fits all messaging is inefficient. And second, there are distinct behavioral segments even within the same age group. The visualization here is especially important. The clustered column charts make these differences immediately visible and easy to interpret. To conclude, teen males and females show different consumption levels and trends. These differences support targeted, gender aware strategies rather than uniform messaging or product positioning. To wrap everything together, this final slide summarizes the overall business value of answering all 5 questions as a single analysis. Across children and teens, we identified a clear structural decline in beverage consumption, especially for soft drinks and fruit drinks. Forecasting confirms that this is not a temporary fluctuation, but a long-term shift. At the same time, milk remains the highest consumed category, but even that shows downward pressure. By connecting consumption trends, growth, forecasts, health impacts, and behavioral differences, this analysis helps businesses understand where the market has been, where it's going, and how to respond strategically, whether the goal is profitability, risk reduction, or alignment with public health trends. So that was it for our case study. Hope you guys got to learn something new. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.